Another interesting thing about Ozempic and what we're talking about, the food industry, is that I guess the NAACP is
Hmm.
like a lobbyist organization for Ozempic. Like they're pro Ozempic. And I
Wait, is it?
think this is so wild to me. Like it's like a whole scheme. It's
I'm going to say this as a white guy.
yeah.
I hear now. I've heard like activists in the black community saying that fitness is like a white thing, like a white construct, which is so ridiculous
Mhm.
because if you look at the average like African American male living in Africa, if they're not in New York eating, like in those, there's a fitness that like it's such a natural like I could never get as shredded as some of my black friends. They just have these perfect physiques. So to say that like weight gain is a white construct is ridiculous. It's a food thing. It's a lack of education and it's predators in the food companies going after kids in the ghetto. That's just a fact. Like say what you want, tell me I'm off the rails, call me racist, call me white privilege. And I think the NAACP, they're probably advocating for Ozempic because they realize that obesity is killing young
Right.
minorities.
That's what this article is saying. So okay, so the company is called Novo Nordisk, right?
Hmm.
It's a European, I don't know what country, pharmaceutical company. And so it says that they have turned to influential Black Americans in pursuit of having Medicare cover this new class of weight loss drugs. So
Hmm.
they're basically saying like, like obesity and diabetes is a big
It's a big killer.
issue in the Black community. So therefore, not prescribing Ozempic as a solution would be considered like, I guess, discriminatory or something like that. Which I can see. I can see the argument, but again, the main argument would be like, why are 10% of food stamps going towards soda,
Well, look, that's a
right?
lack of
That's the real issue in the first place, right?
the biggest issues in what the Americans. Well, I'm not even going to say because I go to England and I see the same thing. The thing that's going on is we don't educate kids about money and nutrition. We don't educate them about history or anything anymore either. But the fact that nutrition should be the first thing a kid learns about in school. How many times have you
Yeah.
had friends who say, "Oh no, I ate this bag of chips. It's only 100 calories," and you're like, "Per serving, it's actually 350 because it's three and a half serve." You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so even the fact, I think food should say, "Hey, I'm looking at a package." It should say how many calories are in that package, not per serving. So they're tricking me. So we need to educate people on we need to properly educate people and but the food companies are not going to allow governments to teach people to not eat their crap. Everything is for profit, you know. so,
Everything is for profit.
so anyway, but let's get back to Lottie Moss. She started at 120 pounds. If she's tall like her sister,
110, I think. Oh, right. No,
110.
he says 60 kilos,
Yeah.
right? Or 50. Either way, 110, 120
Uh,
still is like, for most people, that would be considered underweight or maybe,
oh my God. And then she
depending
got
on her
that.
height, maybe average weight, but
Can we find out
definitely
how
not
tall?
overweight.
How? Let me see. How tall is How do you spell her name? Ladi. Oh,
Lottie. Poor Lottie.
poor.
Sorry, Lottie.
Oh,
We're just using you as an example. We
okay.
have a love for you, and we hope that you feel better.
Yeah, she's 5'6". That's not tall, but that's not short.
Yeah.
And so now
But
she was
still average height. I mean, average weight for that height.
okay.
I mean, she looks fantastic. So it's not like just by looking at her, obviously you can tell that she didn't need it for weight loss.
So let me ask you this though. So now, what about? So look, one of the most horrifying things to me, and I mean this, and I have compassion. So when I say this, this is not a judgment. Maybe it is a judgment, but in New York City, it's not uncommon to see a person overweight in an electric wheelchair driving around town going to the store.
Oh,
So
yeah. Yeah.
we poison people. They get diabetes and obesity, and then we pay for their wheelchair, right? Everybody, there's somebody, there are government agencies who need that money, like they need to justify their existence. There are food companies who put that poor woman in the wheelchair. So why would we educate people out of this disaster if everybody is on the take? And it's crazy, right? So, but
Yeah.
I would certainly rather look, if I were in a wheelchair because of obesity, give me that drug, shoot it right in my nads. I swear to God, like I don't want to be. I would rather see people. The challenge of that drug sounds like a challenge, but the challenge of being 400 pounds is really, really heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And in our society, with like everything's about appearance, and people always like. So I have these two pretty famous friends. I'm not friendly. I mean, I'm friendly with them. We're not pals, but Anthony Edwards from ER and Mayor Winningham. She was in St. Elmo's Fire. I was at a party and they saw that I lost all this weight and they're like, Eric, there's nothing better than taking care of your health. And I'm like, health? I'm like, this is about my vanity. You know what I mean? But can you imagine being stuck in a wheelchair, 400 pounds, and not having access to Ozempic, and then all these pop stars are taking it so they can look like Kurt Cobain? She does
Yeah,
look
I
a little
mean
bit
it's
like Kurt Cobain, by the way.
yeah, I mean it is a shame, especially if it's when it's people that actually do have resources to healthy food and exercise.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been amazing for them to be an example actually to people that are watching.
Yep.
And it's also very expensive, I think, because you have to take Ozempic for life. Like if you stop taking it, it will undo. Well, first of all, you will have gastrointestinal issues regardless, right?
Mm-hmm.
But also you will I mean, you will gain the weight back, right?
Right.
So
But
I
hang
say
on. But
that to
if
say that it costs a lot of money. I think they said 20,000, and I'm not sure if that was 20,000 a year that it would cost, or if it was like a lifetime. I'm not sure, but still 20,000 is a lot. Yeah,
being in a wheelchair, buying wheelchair, I'll pay $20,000 in taxes towards somebody going from 400 pounds to 180 any day of the week because that sounds like a better alternative. There's too many, but again, it's a money system. So why would we educate people out of this disaster? You know what I mean? Like I'm literally. I have a friend who took Ozempic for diabetes and he was a little bit overweight. He lost the weight. I gotta see if he'll come on the show. But I
that'd be
don't know.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but everything is for profit, right? So if everything's for profit, we don't have an incentive. The corporations are running the country at this point. They're running all Western countries. Why would they allow the people, their puppets in government, to actually educate people on how to save money because they make money from people borrowing money and how to be healthy when they get to like we talk about the military industrial complex, we should be talking about the food industrial complex.
Hi, I'm Sarah. Please subscribe and help us grow this channel.